Voices of the Past Holocaust Echoes presents Euthanasia, the Mercy Killings. Join Leah Abramson as we explore the dark history of euthanasia practices.
My name is Leah Abramson, and at 92 years old, I bear the heavy burden of remembering the horrors inflicted under the guise of compassion by the Nazi regime. Today, I speak to you about the so-called mercy killings, a dark chapter in our history where eugenics and ableism intersected with the hatred of anti-Semitism. Eugenics, a doctrine twisted by the Nazis, was used to justify their brutal ideology of racial purity. Under the guise of mercy, they implemented a policy known as euthanasia, systematically killing those they deemed unworthy of life. This included the disabled, the mentally ill, and those with genetic conditions. The Nazis called it a compassionate act, but it was anything but. The T4 program, named after the address of its headquarters at Tiergartenstrasse 4 in Berlin, was the engine of this horrific policy. Hospitals and asylums became places of death rather than care. Innocent lives were cut short with lethal injections, gas, and starvation. These victims were seen as burdens on society, their existence deemed a drain on resources. For Jewish individuals with disabilities, the situation was even more dire. Already marginalized and persecuted for their faith, they faced a double threat. The Nazis' anti-Semitism combined with ableism to create a particularly cruel fate. These individuals were some of the first to be targeted, their lives deemed worthless twice over. I remember the stories of friends and family members who were taken away. We were told they were going to receive better care, but we knew the truth. They never returned. The loss was profound, not only because of their absence, but because of the manner in which they were taken from us. It was a cold, calculated effort to erase their existence. Politically, the euthanasia program set a terrifying precedent. It showcased the regime's willingness to dehumanize and exterminate those who did not fit their vision of a pure, strong race. This program laid the groundwork for the broader genocidal policies that would follow, including the Holocaust itself. Culturally, the impact was devastating. The dehumanization propagated by the Nazis permeated society, turning neighbor against neighbor and sowing fear and distrust. Jewish culture, rich with contributions from people of all abilities, was targeted for destruction. The loss of those with disabilities was a loss of our collective humanity and cultural heritage. Socially, the implications were heartbreaking. Families were torn apart, unable to protect their most vulnerable members. The fear of being targeted created an environment of silence and helplessness. We felt the weight of discrimination, not only for our faith, but for any deviation from the Nazi ideal of physical and mental perfection. I remember this horrific period in my dreams and memories. These so-called mercy killings were acts of profound cruelty disguised as compassion, which echoes through time, reappearing today under different names. I remind you of the dangers of unchecked prejudice and the importance of valuing every human life, regardless of ability or background. Never again.